Legend Tom Mitchell and the brilliant Joe Burns.
Well, look, we've got a legendary quarter-final potentially on our hands here between Fiji and South Africa. Nothing gets the pulse racing quite like cup quarter-finals, and Tom Mitchell, our BPMs are racing faster than any rhythm this DJ can play here at the Hong Kong Sevens.
The heart rate has been surged through the roof with a bit of extra time play in that last quarter-final. And I think it's going to stay up there for this one. I've got a feeling it's going to be juicy. So much for SA to pump for here. They've never beaten Fiji in Hong Kong. Can you believe it?
Well, no one's beaten Fiji in Hong Kong up to this point. 3 matches, 3 wins. South Africa came unstuck against New Zealand in a tight affair, but look at the group they made it through from. Ireland and Kenya vanquished on their way to this cup quarter-final. It's Bula to our friends in Fiji, and how's it to the South Africans tuning in.
Perfect, thank you.
We are primed and ready for a big one. The South Africans primed and ready to receive.
Ready?
And the fans tight together, about to share an emotional journey with the carrot of a cup semi-final dangling before the eyes of both Fiji and South Africa. And it's going to be a contested one in the sky that South Africa taken. Well, the competition's good from Bati Rarenga. But a penalty to South Africa. Off they go, driving the tempo as they do. Out to the flank, into the hands of Impi Vissa. The big man on the edge, just about reeled in. Sheikh Sawyers Wapi. Well, Williams has been so good all competition, and he offloads to Grobala, who takes South Africa beyond the halfway line. Patient stuff on the ball from South Africa. Vissa, the big frame, lurking on the left flank. Goes inside, but meets an even bigger man. Talatholo, when planets collide.
Couple of big men going at it on this near side, right underneath us. You could feel it. You could feel the intent, you could feel the collision. South Africa, really measured approach to this game. Looked in good control, but Fiji look up to it.
Talatholo sent to the skies and unleashing Nantungu. Oh, good tackle as he looked to glide through. Nantungu can't be gathered by South African arms. Talatholo, so strong, looking to get his arms free and fashion an offload, and he's got South Africans backpacking him as he goes to the floor. Penalty. Bati Rarenga taps and goes. And off to the left flank. The Fijians go and poke around. Timber brought down, good steal from South Africa. Very, very watchful, very, very observant defence from both these sides, Mitch.
It's one of those brilliant starts to a game where both teams trying to get into it. They want to get up and running. They're just meeting their match in these first couple of minutes in the opposition.
Same as always, stay behind him, 32 balls in.
Good shot there, Grobler.
Behind to him, 32 balls in.
On the,
Make sure
on
we
the
hook.
scrum for South Africa. He's getting a lot of minutes because Davids is out.
Crouch!
Mentioned South Africa, huge task ahead. Never beaten Fiji in Hong Kong.
Set!
Not many people have beaten Fiji in Hong Kong.
Their winning record here is absolutely extraordinary. Like hen's teeth, Fijian losses out here at the most famous tournament in the series history. And South Africa testing the defensive resolve. For the first time, they almost break through. Still not into the 22. Williams, so tricky, but this time chooses to fizz it to the left. Step inside from Mundanlovu. There's a big gap there for someone to go charging through. Oosthuizen, oh, he does it. He finds Williams, who is too fast for the Fijians. First blood to South Africa.
You called it, Bugsy. You spotted the gap. Luckily, Oosthuizen did as well. Step back against the grain, against that slide of Fiji. And Williams, he's got quick feet. And he used them to good effect there, just to skip away from Nathungu's diving tackle attempt.
Successful conversion as well from Ricardo Duarte.
Come off, please.
And Sean Williams, who has been the main man, not just in scoring, but in assisting and just facilitating all the good things that the Blitz Box have done this weekend.
For me, he's been the main man for South Africa. He's been brilliant, just quick feet, dangerous, but he's also moved the ball nicely at times as well. Great balance to his game so far this weekend.
Well, Ryan Oosthuizen, that burst into the hole.
Okay, let's go. Ready?
Has seen him
Time back on.
replace for the, well, what may look like the remainder of the match, clutching his lower back. Just 3 minutes left of this half. It's raced by. And Mbukayaro is the one who's hoisted. Well, big looping pass, and the defensive read was good, but the tackle had to stick. Flying Fijians pouring through, and eventually Talatolo pops up on the left flank, all limbs and all offloads and all awareness, and of course one of his flying friends is on the shoulder, Yoane Temba. He loves to score in Hong Kong, and he's doing it at quarter-final time.
Yes, please, Fiji. That's what we want, that's why we're here. Look at the finish, the support play, the awareness, the offload. They come from everywhere, the Fijian support players. And on this occasion, it's Temba coming around the outside and going over. It all starts with a brilliant bit of footwork from Mai Samoa. One of the strongest players in this Fijian side. He's teed up his mate Temba to go over for the score.
Well, the conversion doesn't fly. There's just a taste of what Yoane Temba can deliver. 3 tries already in this Cathay HSBC Hong Kong Sevens journey. 2 points between the sides. Under 90 seconds remaining in the half. Bit of a loose and messy presentation. Just gives Fiji a nibble. And they gobble up the opportunity. Great opportunity to attack with just over 60 seconds on the clock.
And that messiness. So over the years, we've used that so rarely to describe the South African play, especially around the contact area. Normally so precise. But this is big. Fiji, they've scored 50% of their tries in the pool stages from set piece. Not something customary to their game. Normally it's the loose where they get their points turnover. They're liking the set piece at the moment, and this is a great opportunity.
Well, those Fijian fans cheering, dancing, hoping they're going to be celebrating a customary Hong Kong Sevens title. They went 5 in a row, remember, in recent times, and ooh, they have a little poke down the blind side, but nothing doing. Rutungu to Talatola. Oh, that's a huge hit from Sheikh Sawyers Wapi. Sheikh rattling and rolling. These Fijians, and Bati Rarenga feeling the heat from the big right shoulder.
Bati Rarenga, not a small man. Look at that commitment from Sawyers Wapi. Technique as well, able to get the shoulder contact low with his foot in close, drive his power in.
Well, he almost still managed to keep the ball in play. That's the skills that are on offer from Fiji, but the loose start from Sean Williams means they've given possession back to Fiji, who are going to just about have time. Another scrum, a very well-decorated bucket hat there. Dramatic of the well-decorated Fijians. Look, there's the Tokyo badge there as well. Olympic gold medalists, Rio gold medalists. And are they going to be heading in to half-time, leading in this quarter-final? South African jerseys closing in, winning the penalty.
Such strong work from Fissa. He's a big man, but that's technique. He's got the tackle, the throw, and then almost in the same motion used the gap as the release, so he's legal, and then down onto the ball. Good clearance. Opportunity for an attacking line out here. Really important to keep playing before the half. We're into the extra minutes. These tight games, you've got to stay on it, on it, on it.
Give that space.
Well, in a long day of high-pressure knockout rugby, Fiji and South Africa are going to play maybe 9 minutes in this first half. Oh, Visser just manages to claw it in. Big hit coming in, and he's ridden it oh so well. Back we go. I think we might even get 10 minutes here. Temba with the read, and South Africa just manoeuvring their way up the field here.
It's been a while since South Africa have tasted the semi-final vibes here in Hong Kong. Oh, they'll be desperate after some disappointment recently in the series.
Well, they've been a model of inconsistency this series. Winners in Dubai, silver in Sydney, 13th in Vancouver, 13th South Africa. Been in with a shot of advancing to these semi-finals, and it'll help if they can get a score on the board here as the half closes. Lost forward and fly hacked through. Who's going to get their hands on it? Impi Visser the first, but no advantage. And finally, after 9.5 minutes, the half comes to a close. South Africa leading by a whisker, 5-7. Well, we got an interview with one of the French stars, Iragua, who scored that golden point only moments ago.
William Iragua, a winning try in a Hong Kong Cup quarter-final. The smile says it all.
No, absolutely, especially such a tight game. Well, congrats to the Spanish. They didn't make it easy for us, and yeah, I'm happy to score, but I can't say I did it by myself. My whole team worked hard, and it's really thanks to our defense, because we didn't have much of the ball that game, and yeah, chapeau to the team.
Cup finalists in Vancouver. Can you go one better here in Hong Kong this weekend?
Well, that's what we strive for every single tournament, so I'm going to say absolutely.
Well, very well played. See you in the semi-final.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Monsieur Iragua with the big play to carry Les Bleus to the semi-final. I wonder who's going to be the man with the big moment for either Fiji or South Africa in this quarter.
Next penalty is going to change the end is good. Hou dit daar. Kyk, hulle turnover kry en hou ons op ons bal. Kyk wat toe dan ons space agter en goed. Maar kom ons hou ons bal lekker, né? Kom ons maak goeie.
The action coming thick and fast with our fourth Men's Cup quarter-final, USA versus Great Britain. And that'll be followed by Canada and Japan. Plenty for all amassed here to enjoy and waggle their fingers to, and Kenya will be taking on the hometown heroes, Hong Kong, China. It is a full final day here at one of the greatest sevens tournaments in the world.
Fiji.
Can South Africa cook up a semi-final? Huge anticipation on the kickoff. Impi Visser chasing hard, but Fiji, the ones to gather it in. My Samoa, such tricky feet, such confidence in the way he plays, and you would be when you got Talatholo on your shoulder. Driven back by Sebastian Job. Man here on debut Fiji backing themselves to drive through a hole. Visa, so strong, almost dripping. Talatola and my Samoa. Turning defenders inside out. They don't know whether to look over the left or the right shoulder. And Fiji really beginning to stress South Africa and stressing the edges. Look at that for a collision, hurtling into dark green shoulders. Another read, my Samoa this time gets gobbled up. That needed to be made. Talatola, if that could have got away.
Release.
Instead he's in there, winning at the breakdown.
Rock. Rock.
Working them. Fiji just working.
Okay.
You feel like they're half a chance away from breaking this African defence, but it's been good. You've got to be good to keep these boys out.
Well, it would be some effort from South Africa to deny Fiji a route to the semi-final. Look at that for consistency. They call it the home from home. They say that Fiji are the kings of Hong Kong Sevens, and that is because they seem to always find a way to win. They were denied in November by Australia, last play of the match. That'll be burning in the backs of their minds and fueling their hearts as they drop onto the toe and invite. Oh, that is absolute perfection. Umbalata, the man to open up South Africa.
Oh, that's absolute money from Balaka. Great spot. The South African defender's coming up square, puts it in behind. I think it was for the winger to chase, but he gets after it himself. And it just pops off the ground, straight into his hands. Great bit of skill. Look at that, just commits.
A key score at a key time. We love Fiji, doesn't everyone? And we love the way they approach the game. But we're also loving how tight this affair is. Oh, the ball allowed to bounce. Absolutely perilous. And I mean, that is a get out of jail for South Africa.
Yeah, it is. I think the reaction of Talatola suggests maybe South Africa have been let off. There's one area you've got to get right against Fiji. It's the kickoff. Because they will get the ball back and they will score more times than they won't.
Of course. Crouch.
What a menace. Spring-heeled Talatola.
Bind.
As high as a Hong Kong high-rise. But fortunately for South Africa, they still retain the possession from the scrum. Sean Williams gets us going. New faces onto the field. Same ambitions. Evade Fijian defenders, and eventually he's brought to ground by Longonimasi. South Africa just searching to get their way across the halfway line. My Samoa goes a little too high. Leading by 3.
Yeah, my Samoa, so much intensity about his game. A little bit too intense there, too much attention up top in that tackle. Spread of penalties so often plays a part, the discipline.
How are you dealing with that, Mitch?
I'm not. Look at that, he'd rinse you on a sixpence. Great feet from Ethan James. They're blessed with footwork across the board, this South African side.
Well, Longonimasi may just be the tallest player at the Hong Kong Sevens. It took every inch of his limbs to make that tackle. But it's more direct this time from South Africa.
2, late.
Well, a late hit.
What do you want? Scrum?
Fiji beginning to bleed a few penalties, and the discipline beginning to slip as time slips as well into less than 2 minutes left. And that stat again. I wonder, is that weighing on the minds of South Africa? Never beaten Fiji in Hong Kong.
13.
Chance to be in the history books for the right reasons here, South Africa.
There's no 13.
And that clock caught me unawares. And you just hope on the pitch that the players are very aware of that, because it can creep away from you and all of a sudden you're in last chance saloon.
Well, South Africa have shown great variety
Ball.
this series in terms of their try generation, the tap just about edging the set piece, but they're an all-court side. They've got a man on the blind side, but they're not going to use him because Sean Williams gets firing from the base. More hot stepping coming in from Ethan James. Sean Williams transferred to, but a penalty, big call.
Looked all right to me.
You've run around your man. Yeah.
It's a big call at this stage of the game.
Well, the crowd didn't enjoy it.
Fiji going to the set piece again. So that's a great kick from Balatha. And here we go, this is what the penalty was for. He's saying he's adjudged him there to run back around James, his teammate, and using him as an obstruction. I don't know, tough one.
Ethan James, the debutant, proving a tricky customer. Enormous gap in that line out, and it benefits South Africa, who win it, but the bounce just falls to the Fijians. Sometimes you get those breaks and they seem to be going the way of the South Pacific team. This is dangerous. Field looking a little bit fractured, and this is what the Fijians like. Masi in at first receiver. Slings it. Well, Fiji know that the clock is ticking away, and they've got all the time in the world to career back to the dead ball area, and time evaded the South Africans there a little bit. Fijians dancing and waltzing to the semi-finals. They do